morning, beautiful people. I hope that you are having the best day. I am very excited because you and I today are going to sit down and basically brainstorm. I'm going to share some very fun, cozy ideas about how to have that aesthetic Gilmore Girls / cozy, warm fall. Grab your coffee. Yes, mine's iced. Yes, it's in a to-go because you girl busy. Grab your coffee and let's get started. The first item on our list is to create a cozy environment. Speaking of, I forgot the donuts, so give me a minute. There we go. I made donuts, which we will talk about later. There's only 2 left. But back to creating a cozy environment. Basically what I mean by that is decorating, but maybe taking it a different direction. I would say things that make you feel warm, cozy, excited to come in the morning. 2 of those for me in my office are, 1, the candle warmer that I have next to me just creates the best throwing scent or scent throw of candles that I've ever had in a candle warmer, and it is very cute and makes me very happy. Also behind that, which you see like a little bit of hints from, but the whole wall here to my left, to your right, is just sparkling. I have just a little $10 from Target string of fairy lights, and I put them behind all my pictures, and that just brings me such warmth and coziness. Also on my desk chair, I have a fall plaid blanket, which I basically keep there all season. I've got a pillow next to me, a pillow behind me, just things that kind of, I guess I would say, wrap you in the season. The more of those that you can add to your space, the more hyggely, which is one of my favorite words I learned last year. It's like the act of being hygge. I would say bring that this season and the next season, especially with those of us who maybe struggle a little bit with any version of like seasonal depression. Also something that I'm planning on adding to my list this year is one of those lights that you can put on your desk that has like, it like mimics the sun and helps give you that vitamin D that maybe you can't get as much this time of year coming up because of the light changes. If you have ever used one of those, please let me know in the comments because I'm looking forward to it. I've heard great things about it, but I would love to know from somebody specifically that has tried it before, maybe a brand they like more than another. My first tip is create a cozy, hyggely environment. The second tip is baking. Now, we all know that baking just brings that warmth and like cottagecore, I would say, vibe to any season, but specifically in the autumn and winter season, that is something that greatly jumps on my list of things to do. Also, I did do apple picking for the first time this year, and I have a plan. I need to do it before the apples start leaving me in the ripeness category, but I have a plan to create either like an apple butter or like apple jam. There was also pears there, which is just crazy I didn't know, we didn't expect pears. I just thought it was a bunch of apples that weren't ripe, but nope, it was a pear tree. So I plan on making like a pear jam, just something of that nature that kind of also I would say takes you out of technology. That's something for me that hygge specifically, but also like cozy. Also when we're thinking about it, if you're thinking specifically of Gilmore Girls, like Rory leaves her cell phone with her mom. It's not really something that they're super connected to. When they want to talk to somebody in the town, they typically will walk there and talk to them. They don't really call most people on the phone besides like Lane isn't in the environment, or like Lorelai will call her mom because that's quite far, but then they still have the Friday night dinners. So doing things that connect you to the season. These are pumpkin donuts with a maple glaze, and ooh, they are so good. The thing I noticed about gluten-free, which is a little bonus tip, is I have to add like extra liquids because the gluten-free flour tends to dry out a lot quicker for me. I am also at altitude, so keep that in mind. If I'm not sure if that's an altitude thing or a gluten-free thing, because I had to learn gluten-free at altitude for the first time. So it's kind of a combo in my brain, but it could be either of those factors. But doing things that have pumpkin pie spice in it or pumpkin puree in it, maple is a big thing, crisp apples, creating like apple fritter, or just taking the time to add that little bit of extra, which in the spring season, it's really like that birth and that restart, whereas autumn and winter kind of becomes a little bit of the cocoon season where you're kind of a little bit at home more, or if it's super cold outside, maybe you're like, if it's snowing, that for me is like the perfect day for another of our tips that I have. Maybe not in the way that I have it, but if you can get to it before winter and it's snowing, I think it will create such a fun evening event. But baking with autumn specific ingredients is number 2. Number 3 on our list is to plan ahead and find those small town events near where you live, or even a little bit of a drive from where you live, and plan to go to them in advance. With the autumn season, I know that it also comes with cocooning as well as with a lot of holiday events. I know a lot of people have their birthdays around this time of year, so it's a lot of planning. But I think in this instance, if you can plan ahead for those relaxing days, there's a statistic of, I think it's about 50% of the joy that we have from a vacation is the planning of the vacation, because it's all of those really wonderful what ifs of what if we went here and did that and ate over here and did that thing. And I think that the autumn season for a lot of us flies by so quickly. Like I know for me this year, I realized an event that I wanted to go to had just happened the previous weekend. And if I had just taken that one more second to plan ahead and write those down. I like to write them, again, pen and paper style on a calendar that I have. But if you put it in your phone or something of that nature where you know that you have these fall events coming up, that will help with the relaxation and kind of the exhale and the coziness that autumn brings without the stresses that it can bring. Speaking of cocoon, our next idea is to, on that blistery, very like aesthetic-y, rainy, gloomy day, if you have the day off or if you have the opportunity just to allow yourself that day off, exhale, take a break, grab the coffee or the hot chocolate, do like a hot chocolate, like cocoa bomb sounds wonderful. Or I will always sing the praises of this Trader Joe's tea because there is like the best autumn tea from Trader Joe's. I would grab that and just make that like warm tea or cup of coffee for yourself. Grab your blanket and just cocoon in your house, in your apartment, in your living room, and enjoy a book, a physical book that you have no time limit on. You don't have to pay attention to the day. Or another idea for that windy, blistery, what some people will consider icky style day is to go to a bookstore or go to a library and just not pay attention to time. You'll notice a theme throughout these tips. A lot of it has to do with unplugging, allowing your brain to exhale, really enjoying the moment and enjoying the season. That's something for me for this year that has helped me through a lot of the summer, winter, fall style seasons, is to enjoy the season for what it is, I would say is the phrasing of that, and not try to rush the season into the next season. Just enjoy summer for what it is in the long days. Enjoy fall for what it is in the coziness. And if you live in one of the places where maybe it's not like the coziest outside, like maybe it's still really hot outside now, you can do things in your home that bring the season into your home and allow you to still have that cozy vibe. This is a little bit niche, but one of my favorite things to do is pick a scent for the season. The candle that I have next to me is 100% the scent that I have for this season. Also, the Anthropologie, one of the candles that they have this season is wonderful as well. I've actually really been enjoying, instead of burning the candles, I've really been enjoying them this way just because it lasts, according to the packaging, it's supposed to last 3 times as long. And I know for me, I really like having scents for long periods of time. So in that case, if I can allow myself to kind of lock into the season with one specific scent, or you could do like every time you have a fall event or you're getting ready or something of that nature, you could do one of the stovetop style pots with like cranberries and cinnamon and just all of the goodness of the season, and just allow that to kind of spread throughout your home. I've noticed that scents are very calming and they allow me to, I think it's overlooked in a lot of ways. Like I think of specifically of Disney, where Disney really does like kind of like pipe scents into all of their parks, just so that you have that full sensory experience when you walk in. Not only are you seeing things, but you're hearing them, you're smelling them, you're just enjoying it in its entirety. And that is what like a signature scent for the season means to me. Speaking of enjoying, I'm going to take a quick bite of my donut because it's delicious. Have an autumn themed evening. Now by that I mean have some friends over, or just have a full evening autumn vibes yourself, or with a loved one. You can put a projector up in your living room and enjoy a movie or an autumn themed TV show. Like you could do like a 90s TV show. Like I've seen a lot of lists this year about like Boy Meets World Halloween episodes and things of that nature, just to kind of give yourself that nostalgia that autumn also brings. You could put that up in your living room. You could put it outside reflecting against your house if you have a yard, and you could either do chili or you could have everybody bring something, kind of have like a potluck vibe, where that's also very hyggely, is kind of having everybody experience the event together. If they have kids, or if you have kids, you could have like crafts. If you just want to have crafts yourself, hello, I think you should totally do that. Just having a full evening geared around autumn and the autumn vibe. Write more this season. Now that can come in a gratitude journal, where either when you first wake up or when you're about to go to sleep, you write down things that happen throughout the day that you're grateful for, or just things overall that you're grateful for. Or that can come in just journaling more in its entirety. I feel like it's a really good way to kind of work through my thoughts. And I know that, again, with the greatness that this season comes, but also once the days get shorter, the more I can be intentional with my thoughts and kind of check in with myself and see how I am, the more productive and the better of a season I will have in life season, that is, or in the autumn and winter season. So writing more this season is another tip of how to have a cozy, wonderful autumn season. Enjoy the season, exhale, whatever that is for you. I hope that you are having a wonderful season already. Leave a comment of what the favorite thing that you've done this season is, or what your biggest tip is of having that cozy, wonderful autumn vibe in your life this season. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.